Ah, yes, the forest. It seems so peaceful, doesn't it? It really does a person good to get into nature and feel grounded and harmonious amongst our more natural beings around us. Don't change the channel just yet. I'm X, I run Perspective Reports, this channel you're watching, and today we are talking about the high cost of invasion. What kind of invasion? Well, invasive species. These unseen, microscopic, and tiny critters are all around us, and they cost our ecosystem and economy billions of dollars. We're not talking about any wars. We're not talking about blah, blah. What are we talking about? Oh, here it is. These beings don't carry swords. They're not firing cannonballs. Instead, they invade through numbers and destruction left behind. In today's video, we're going to talk about the price tag of invasive species on our economy. So thanks for watching. This is Perspective Reports. Let's get it.
He's heating up!
So welcome to Cost of Calamity, the show that breaks down the most expensive moments in history you've never heard of. And today's topic is invasive species. Remember, Perspective Reports.
Hard cut transition to the spotted lanternfly, an invasive species from East Asia, and it is a serious threat causing economic damage that could reach into the hundreds of millions of dollars every single year. It threatens our nation's farms and forests by feeding on the sap of over 70 different types of plants. Think about your favorite fall treats, apples, or a glass of wine from local grapes. The spotted lanternfly puts all of that at risk. A study in Pennsylvania alone estimated that it could cost the state over $300 million a year and wipe out nearly 3,000 jobs because of this. And it's not just farms. Homeowners are spending thousands trying to fight off infestations on their own properties. Now, let me show you what we've been dealing with in our backyard.
You see this tree over here? Well, I have a problem. That's right. It's infested with lanternfly eggs. And unfortunately, all these flies had to die because I had to go scorched earth on their asses.
And sorry again for the gross footage of bugs, but clearly it's not really working all that well because they just go higher up the tree to where we can't even reach them, and all these pollinators are attracted to it, and also the honeydew is creating all the black mold. They're pretty bugs, but they're also pretty good at killing trees. And the damage is a 1-2 punch. First, they weaken and kill plants just by feeding on them. Second, they leave behind a sticky, sugary waste called honeydew. This honeydew then leads to a black, sooty mold, which further harms the plant and creates a sticky, ugly mess on everything below. So how did they even get here? How did the spotted lanternfly, or SLF, land in the United States? And basically, they're native to China, Vietnam, and India. Somehow they were accidentally introduced to South Korea, which is not that far away, and then following a trading route, they went to Japan, and then following another trading route, they went from Japan to the United States. But that doesn't explain their natural habitats and what they're like in their native lands. Let's talk about it. So what are the spotted lanternflies like in their native environments? Great question. So essentially over there in East Asia and Southeast Asia, they are a keystone species, part of the biosphere, keeping things going, part of a balanced ecosystem rather than as a destructive pest seen in the United States. Their role is largely shaped by two factors, and that is natural predators that exist in their natural habitats and as a co-evolved relationship with their preferred host plant. These bugs have very specific trees and very specific types of plants that they're actually supposed to create these cohabitative existence with that can handle their honeydew and their egg laying and all that, but that doesn't exist in America. Let's talk more about that. The primary host plant for the lanternfly, and I love this name, is the tree of heaven, or the Ailanthus altissima. I don't know if I said that right at all, but that's the Latin term for the tree of heaven, which is native to Far East Asia. And while they do feed on other plants, their populations are largely concentrated where this tree is found. Most importantly, however, the spotted lanternfly's population in Asia is kept in check by a variety of natural enemies that are not present in North America. These include several species of parasitic wasps, such as Antastasis, Orientis, Orientalis, or basically just a really big wasp. If you actually see lanternflies, how they kind of congregate and group, you'll notice a lot of pollinators get around them. Well, that's because of the honeydew that they excrete. It attracts a lot of pollinators. So you might see really big wasps. I see them. I see butterflies. You'll see bees. You'll see a lot of flies. Just anything that's like a low-key pollinator is going to be attracted to the honeydew that they bring. But in Far East Asia and Southeast Asia, they have this big wasp, parasitic wasp, that can basically kill and eat these lanternflies that doesn't exist in North America. And because these natural predators effectively control their numbers, the spotted lanternfly does not cause the widespread agricultural and economic damage in its native habitat that it does in regions that it has been introduced into. But hold that thought, let's bring it back to America.
He's heating up!
The first U.S. sighting, the first sighting in the United States, was in 2014 in Pennsylvania, likely arriving as part of a hidden cluster of eggs called an egg mass on a shipment of stone. Believe it or not, we ship a lot of stone all over the world. That's a big, economic engine, is selling and buying and selling rocks. A lot of people make a lot of money on it. Maybe that'll be a future video. But anyway, since then, it has spread aggressively because it is an expert hitchhiker, laying its eggs on almost any surface imaginable. We're talking about cars, firewood, lawn furniture, you name it, it's there. This has allowed it to travel quickly across the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic as the main spot that it's spreading from the United States. So how can you help? And that is by knowing what to look for. That's right, we need each other in this fight to control the lanternfly species. And that is first by knowing what the insect itself looks like and what to look for. The adults are about an inch long with grayish black spotted forewings that reveal a flash of brilliant red when they open up. You'll often find them swarming on trees or even the sides of buildings. The second thing to look for are the egg masses, and these are tricky because they look like a smear of mud or putty. Check for them on trees, fence posts, cars, basically any flat surface. They're kind of like a small smear of grooved mud or a little honeycomb shape. Third, look for that sticky honeydew.
He's heating up!
For us in our backyard, that's where they just excrete so much honeydew. Again, they attract all those pollinators, the bees, the butterflies, the big wasps, and they mold. They mold the tree because it's just a bunch of excreted sweet honey that's being, but with no use that we know of right now anyway. That's just kind of being left out there on the tree. And if you kick a piece of chicken underneath the fridge, what happens? It molds, right? It's the same thing, but it's just left on a tree. It actually just creates an infection that the tree cannot fight. And if you see weeping sap oozing from a tree, that's another major red flag. And like I said, it just infests the tree, makes that black sooty mold, and it just doesn't look great. You kind of see it, you'll know it when you see it. So step one is looking for the bug itself, knowing what they look like. Number two is checking for their egg masses, and number three is seeing their honeydew. They excrete the honeydew and they put it on trees. That creates that black mold that kills the trees. And don't forget, after all of this, if you do see something, don't forget to report it to your local pest control or Department of Agriculture. They need that information to track and or just update their numbers to know where it is, and so they can report it in to the national statistic holder. So what's the outlook? It's concerning, I'm not gonna lie to you. The expert consensus is that the spotted lanternfly is here to stay. The goal now is shifting from total eradication, like we're not gonna get rid of these guys, but now to smart management, learning to control its population and protect our most valuable crops and trees. It's about containment and mitigation. So keep your eyes peeled. You might find our newest invasive bug species sooner than you think in a neighborhood garden bed and or tree near you. Trust me, I've seen this in New York City, I've seen them in Boston, and I've seen them in Washington, D.C., so they're kind of getting everywhere. Regardless, this admittedly very pretty little fly isn't going anywhere anytime soon. People talk about it. It's a real thing. I was actually speaking to a University of Maryland student, and they were breaking it down for me. I have a clip, I think.
I'm editing a video about lanternflies.
Yeah, they're really invasive.
Yeah, I was, what are they invasive to? Like, what do they kill? Like, what do they?
I think they damage trees because, there's no natural predators for them. So, when they're doing their thing on the tree, there's nothing to be like, I'm gonna kill that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everywhere.
Yeah. So it just reproduces and just gets out of hand.
It's like, this is another end to the video. Thank you for watching, everybody. Perspective Reports. I'm X. I run this channel, and I'm a little weird, but I like to have a lot of fun. So thanks for watching me ramble into a microphone about some random relevant topics. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.